This is Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
What's good, my people? You've tuned in to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Week number 5, Zay. Here we go, man.
Cinco.
Here we go, man. An unbelievable game 4 in Indiana. The Pacers are up 2-1 going into this game, and OKC showed up and showed out. The U.S. Open is going on right now, round 3. Man, it's been unbelievable. I got to teach my boy Zay a little bit of golf.
Yeah, you do.
Come on. It'll be okay. It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah,
man.
outside of Tiger and Phil Mickelson, there's a big drop off.
Hey, come on. Hey, those are the ones to know, man.
Okay.
You got Tiger tied. Overall wins. I'll break it down with you with that a little bit. And then you got Phil making some reverse hands. His hands were reversed. He's a lefty like me, but he's way better, obviously. But
so you're a left-handed golfer.
Yeah.
There's nobody better that could teach me, because all I've been hearing all week is how left-handers in golf aren't a good match. So learning golf from someone who also golfs left-handed is going to be very beneficial.
I don't know if I can teach you, man. I'm not that good. I got my golf guy Billy Moya that gives me my tips, and Sean Moya, his son, who's actually a unbelievable golfer right now.
Okay, got a good teacher.
Yeah, man. I'll come on. We can get into that a little bit, and then we'll add in a little bit that we got a native that went to UNM that's also playing in this U.S. Open that's actually in Philadelphia right now. So we'll get into that a little bit more. We got Caitlin Clark coming back today. She's missed 5 games. She's playing the Liberty. The Liberty's undefeated right now.
Ooh.
And Caitlin Clark, the Liberty's tough right now. Caitlin Clark being out, I think her fever went 2-3. I think that's what that was.
Okay.
But it's interesting because Caitlin Clark, man, she reminds me of Steph Curry so much.
Yeah, she plays like Steph, and it seems like she's got the LeBron effect on her team.
Oh, without a doubt, because I think she's about to change the culture like Steph Curry did. Coming into the NBA, shooting deep balls, even though those women in the WNBA are not getting the credit that they deserve. We'll get into that a little bit more probably throughout the show. But come on, man. Hey, I got to throw this teaser out there. I hope he comes on, but I got to, hey, you know how these celebrities can be.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of them. But I show up and show out, bro. Come on, man.
You do.
But,
show out.
Yeah, I started talking to him last week, and I'm going to throw some teasers out there. You might know who he is, but I got drafted the same year with him, 99, the Houston Rockets. My boy's going to come on. We're going to go on a little bit more details. But he was the top 2 draft pick in the 1999 draft, even though your boy right here went 22nd to the Houston Rockets. So hopefully he's going to come on. He confirmed with me today he's going to be coming on, so it's going to be a pretty good show, Zay.
Do you ever just wake up like, I went first round?
Oh, man, I have dreams, man. That's a great point. I have dreams sometimes that I have I have another year of eligibility, man.
Ooh.
Or sometimes I'll be hooping in college in my dreams. And you know how they're giving out all these years now to where you can play up to 10 years in college now. I'm like, I'll probably be going to bed thinking like, how come I can't have another year with all this NIL money they get? And they get this. I be driving around Albuquerque like I'm flossing, you know what I mean? Opposed to me just making $420 a month back in college. But I'm just really happy that these kids are able to have the opportunity to make the money that they're making, man. So
there's I was working at my job up there, office bar, and there was a guy who, I always get into sports talks. The guy's there, and there was a guy I got into sports talk with him about like basketball, and he was like, "Yeah, Kenny," he's like, "So I don't know him directly, but he was like, I'm sure we've got mutuals," because he said he went to your high school's rival school. I forgot the name.
Well, I had a lot of rivalries. I went to Albuquerque.
Okay, so
I went to Albuquerque High.
I can't remember what school he said he went to.
95 state champs, 1 year, came from El Paso, Texas, won the same year, Zay.
he was so bitter. He was like, but I feel like he's like, man, it wasn't fair. They recruited Kenny. It was
Yeah, they did. They did. I can't even lie. See, Zay, I was always playing on an AAU team that was called Flight. But first it was Rocky Mountain All-Stars. It was me, Taman Damzowski, and AJ Bramlett, right?
Okay.
And I was the fat one. Taman was the man child, and AJ was the bones. AJ was the thinner one, and I was the fat one, right? We all played on the same AAU team. And then I ended up transferring for my senior year in 95 to play for the great Jim Holzman. Man, I just saw him like a couple months ago. I think he's in his mid-90s right now, still walking around, still doing what he do. Yeah, and I am on the Jim Holzman wall. I went to his house. There's only about 3-4 people on that little wall, but it's awesome. I had to throw that out there.
Okay, so you got something going. You're on walls. I was in Howie's Sports page.
What's that?
The bar, the Howie's.
And I'm not trying to be a jerk. What's that?
No. It's a sports bar. Howie's.
Okay.
You're on the wall in there.
Howie.
Yeah. You're on the wall in there.
Yeah. Howie's takes care of me during football season. Shout out to Howie's. I appreciate you, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They put them Texans up on the screen. Who's the best team in Texas? I know you got your Cowboys. And Robert, if you want to call in, be all hot and talk about the Cowboys, man, it's not football season. Don't go there.
Robert or Howard, either one.
Yeah, and then I got to give a shout out. Jeff Symbietta's on the course, Howard. So you got to call in and give him crap. But yeah, man, Jim Holzman, I was able to come here play for him. Henry Tafoya, my heart goes out to him, having some health issues right now. He was the first guy to televise mine and AJ Bramlett's games because AJ went to La Cueva and I went to Albuquerque High, and it was a big rivalry to where not everybody could fit in the gym. So what they did was they televised mine and AJ games throughout the whole state. And I don't think that's ever been done. Yeah, man, 95. Me and AJ Bramlett made a splash, and AJ was already here, but you know, me and him playing on the same AAU team, that created some kind of different atmosphere. But come on, man, that's still my boy, and we still cool. So that's all that matters.
What was the mindset when you're in high school and you're like, is this, you basically lived the college life before college?
Man, not really, because I was in El Paso, Texas. El Paso, Texas is a smaller market. I was there in middle school, went to Ross Middle School. Then I was able to go to Austin High School for 3 years. It's just a different market, a different atmosphere when it comes to basketball opposed to New Mexico. And me being able to come here since I was 12 and play basketball, I knew the culture. I heard about the culture in the state of New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I got to be a part of that. So
you brought them boys, they got you, and you brought them a ring.
Yeah,
how
man.
About that?
Yeah, I brought them a ring in 1 year, man. But it was amazing because the basketball culture here in New Mexico is totally, it's separate from many different places, man. And then with me being a military brat, I traveled all over to a certain extent.
Oh, really?
But yeah, man, I was in Germany I'm from Georgia, but yeah, don't kill me, New Mexico. I said that, but that's where I was actually born. And then I went to Germany, and then El Paso, Texas, and then New Mexico, man. And being able to have 18,000 people in the pit for a high school game, man, it was unbelievable. That's why I ended up staying in New Mexico. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, wait, so it was in the pit.
Oh, yeah.
The high school game was packed.
Oh, yeah. And then get this one. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I committed to New Mexico, and Dean Smith, the late Dean Smith, North Carolina coach, that he's not with us anymore. He was going to come have lunch with me in New Mexico, man. I passed up on it. You don't even know what to say to that dude.
True Lobo.
Who coached Michael Jordan.
Okay, so okay.
I could have went to UConn, man, but yeah. What are you gonna do?
Hey, it all worked out. That's smooth though.
Hey, I'm not complaining. It worked out. Look, I got my own podcast show with my boy Zay. We live right now, and it uploads the next day, if not tomorrow, Monday, to all
of them,
all the podcast and streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and we got our YouTube channel right now. Yeah. Am I missing one? I think I'm missing one.
You said Amazon, right?
Yeah,
I said Spotify.
Amazon. Spotify.
You said Apple. You said YouTube.
Am I missing one? I might be missing one, but it don't matter.
I guess 95.9 FM and AM 610.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to add the station. My bad.
You can also listen to us here as well, where you're listening to us now.
Hey, if you want to chop it up with your boy throughout the show, you can call 505-246-0610. I'm going to be all over the place with a lot of different things. Recapping. Obviously, in this second segment, we're going to recap and dig into game 4.
It was a good one.
Oh, man, it was a real good one, man.
The best one so far, probably.
I think so, but it's so... Yeah. Hold up, man. I'm going to tease him out. See, I was about to go into it already. But, yeah, we're going to come back after this break, and we'll break it down a little bit more. Game 4, that was in Indiana. The Pacers tried to keep that, but they were not able to hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal.
He's got neckties. He's got socks. Give him a gift that really rocks. Treat your dad to a $5,000.
Mike's hot.
You're listening to Unfiltered with your boy Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal. Man, Zay, hey, that music is fire.
You like that one?
Oh, yeah.
You like that one? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I don't know about your DJ skills, but I'm just saying, when you be doing these clips, bro, yeah, you doing your thing.
Appreciate that. I love music, man. I love music. I remember when those Beat Studios by Dr. Dre first came out.
Yeah.
We were talking about how you had some dreams about NIL and extra eligibility.
Yeah.
I used to dream about owning a pair of Beats. I know all kids say they used to dream about owning something, but I actually used to dream. And they were only $300, but
man, y'all believe this? This is a young man talking about Beats being a dream. Like, yeah, Zay, way to keep me young. I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. And I'm not trying to.
I love my headphones. I wear my headphones like a hat.
That is the thing nowadays.
Yeah. My barber's always like, you wear your headphones a lot, don't you? Yeah, why? you can't fix it? What's up? It's damaged up there.
Hey, let's get into this game. Let's get into this game 4 recap, man. Obviously, on Jeff Symbiota show, I took another L. I picked the Pacers. This is exactly why I do not gamble. And people be asking me my thoughts. Obviously, I thought OKC was going to come out and win this game, but I can't take that back. I got to live up to it. But SGA, man, the way that they've been all over him, hounding him, has been very detrimental to where he's having to do a lot on both ends of the floor. Being able to have the backcourt coming at him with multiple guys is changing that dynamic because they're trying to wear him down, even with bringing the ball up. When SGA scored 15 points in the fourth quarter to outscore the Pacers, and the Pacers only had 7 points in the second half, there was a matter of 3 minutes that went by to where the Pacers were not able to capitalize and score.
Yeah.
These two teams, man, I think they're very similar. If one of the other teams go on a drought, it's a matter of the other team trying to capitalize on that situation. But Indiana, it's going to be interesting because if Indiana would have won that game, they would have won up game 1. And obviously the percentages of them going ahead and winning a title obviously would have been there. Now it changes the whole different scope of how it's going to play out when you have a 2-2 situation when it's tied up and you're going back to OKC in game 5, and that energy in that building in OKC in game 5, which we'll get into a little bit later. But the way that the Pacers only shot 28% in the fourth quarter was very detrimental. They went 5 for 18, and then they did not capitalize on not 1 3 at all, Zay.
And they shot bad from the free throw line too, didn't they?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Free throw line. Let me see.
I remember they had some guys missing some crucial ones, especially later on in that game. And then also I remember, during the first half, Siakam was being effective, and they asked Jalen Williams, Pascal Siakam, he seems to be getting, being effective on both sides of the floor. What can you guys do to slow him down? And take a guess at what he said.
What did he say?
He said, we just got to be more physical. In translation, be physical with that guy. It's going to affect him. Also basically calling him light in the butt.
Which is what I said back in the day. I didn't mean it like he's he's not a good player. I'm saying light in the butt because I would have took him in the post and put him in a blender. You know what I mean? But I could guard on the perimeter as well. So if you want to chop it up with your boy about about game 4, what just happened, you can call 505-246-0610. There is no dumb question. If you want to call in, just call in and let's chop it up. But Toppin, man.
How about him?
Toppin has been balling. What you got?
It sucks that they weren't able to get a win from him. But also, it was weird. He was 7 for 12. He had 17 points, but his plus minus is minus 15.
Yeah.
It actually was a worse than the whole team.
Yeah, but when a guy is knocking down shots, you got to leave him in. That plus minus crap, I hate it. Because I was in the league under Coach Jim O'Brien when I was in Philly, to where he was a big plus minus guy. Man, it kind of screwed me over.
It probably makes you feel like he didn't know basketball.
Exactly, because when you have a situation to where you have multiple different things going on, how can you put everything on one person?
Yeah.
And you got 4 other guys out there that's also supposed to be a unit, and then you just put it on one person to where, hey, like you're not doing what you're supposed to do because your minus is bad.
Yeah. And I tell you what, people call the Thunder, all their foul baiters, free throw line merchants. It is not, getting to the line is one thing, whether the refs are playing soft or not. But these guys, Chet was 6 for 6, Jalen Williams 11 for 11, Shea was 10 for 10 from the free throw line. Like, it's not a guarantee that you're just going to make these free throws. So there's still credit to be given to the Thunder for pulling that off. Also, SGA 35. I just saw something crazy. I actually screenshotted it. They put him in like a ridiculous category. So, yeah, after scoring 35, including 15 of OKC's last 16, SGA becomes 7th player to record 14 games of 30-plus in a single postseason, joining MJ, Kobe, LeBron, AI, Hakeem, and Kawhi.
Wow. And then everybody's been giving SGA crap because they feel like he hasn't showed up, man. This is where you got to rely on your teammates, because I feel like SGA plays the right way. And I feel like he's a guy that can take over a game like he did last game. And the way that he came out and scored 15 points in that fourth quarter was unbelievable, because throughout the other 3 quarters, it felt like he was kind of, now I don't want to say coasting.
Yeah.
But the way that the Pacers were playing defense on him totally changed the dynamic of how he was able to get his shots off. Which is where, man, hey, when you have a Holmgren, I think I said that right?
Yep,
Did I say it right?
Yep.
He started. This is the first game he started. I felt that energy was brought from the beginning, which was needed for OKC, especially being on the road and not playing at home.
He's getting a lot of putbacks. He's definitely big for that team. And also Chet, I mean, a lot of us, I guess anytime you're a fan of a team, there's going to be some guys that you're not so-called watched grow up, but Chet was he's a big social media guy. He's blown up on social media because he was super skinny. He was lengthy. And they're like, okay, is this guy going to work? Is he going to put on weight? So seeing him play well, it also, like, morale-wise, it infuses the team with confidence, because it's like, there's young Chet. Like, that's their little – they almost look at him like a little child almost. Like, that's their little dude. And, yeah, he's playing. He's balling.
Let me, excuse me, I totally messed that up. We were talking about Chet Holmgren. I was actually referring to Hartenstein starting.
Okay, him as well.
My fault.
I was
Hartenstein started. Yeah, Hartenstein started in the first half, which changes the whole dynamic of the game. Excuse me for that. I totally said that out of order, but I wanted to let you finish your thought.
No, yeah, all good. The facts that we said about Chet was still accurate.
See, this is the thing about live TV. I mean, I said TV because I was on NBC Sports. This is the thing about live radio, man. My bad.
All cool. As long as we're not on here, I think it's like the 7 deadly words, radio words you can't say.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I was raised in church.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like that's real potty mouth, even though I have a potty mouth anyway, if you know me. But Alex Caruso, man, 30 minutes. He went 7 for 9. I feel like he was a guy that was an X factor that comes in and plays great defense, and he disrupts guys, and he's disrupted SGA and some other guys. He disrupted Halliburton and some other guys that's over there on the Pacers side, to where he made a difference. And then he was able to knock down 1-3 down the stretch that was very crucial, and it was needed at that point, because I felt like when the Pacers were up by 10 in the third quarter with 2 minutes left, you're like, okay, where's this energy gonna come from on the OKC side? And I felt like it came from Alex Caruso and Hartenstein and Jalen Williams, man. Him being able to bring the ball up, that helped SGA to be able to catch his breath, to where he's not having to deal with that pressure bringing the ball up, which I thought was a big difference as well.
Yeah, and you know what I love about this series is, as I'm looking at the box scores here, and I made a comment on the last show that we had last weekend, kind of about like, I feel like this series could not necessarily stop the NBA from going to like all shooting threes, but in this game, the Pacers hit 11 threes, 11 for 36. The Thunder only hit 3 3-pointers.
Yeah.
In this whole entire game. They were 3 for 16. The Pacers were 11 for 36, and the Thunder won the basketball game.
Because the Pacers weren't able to make shots at the right time.
And Halliburton 1 for 7 from 3 is not going to cut it.
And then if you're listening to the pregame show with the Sam Perkins and Stephen A. and those guys, they were saying that it was electric up in there. Being able to have that environment changes the whole situation when it comes to being able to play at home and that energy's there. If you have any questions about, or if you feel different about the outcome in game 4, you can call 505-246-0610 to chop it up with your boy. After this quick break, we will be getting into some KD, Kevin Durant situation, what's going on with him, if he's going to the Knicks.
He's still arguing with people on Twitter and whatnot.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Social media, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what he was saying after.
Oh, yeah, we got to get into that. And then here I am having his back on Friday on the Sports Animal with Jeff and JJ, as far as like he's not done and the different situations in that. We'll be right back. You're listening to 95.9 FM and 610 the Sports Animal. You're listening to 95.9 FM and 610 the Sports Animal with your boy Kenny Thomas and Zay. I said Zay like I forgot my name. Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. We've been chopping it up about game 4, Pacers OKC in Indiana. That was an amazing game right now. I'm excited to figure out what's going to happen with this U.S. Open right now, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm sitting here watching it on the TV right here in the corner of my eye. You got Burns at -3 that hasn't teed off yet, and you got JJ Spawn that's right behind him. Only 3 guys finished -3 after the second round yesterday, so it's going to be an interesting third round today, so it's going to be exciting. Come on, man. KD, you got a KD clip for me, even though KD's my man. We're talking about Kevin Durant and the whole situation on like where he's going to be going this year, because obviously he's getting out of Phoenix. That Devin Booker situation did not end up working out. And Devin Booker is actually staying in Phoenix, but KD is on to another place.
Yeah, so Kevin Durant, as you know, he gets on Twitter and he entertains people when he's bored. Is basically what he does.
Off season, man.
Yeah, and he'll go on there, and there's this account tweeted that I think it's time to admit Kevin Durant's trajectory after leaving Golden State is very underwhelming. And he, of course, he claps back right away like, I highly disagree. Like, care to you want to debate about it? So then she responds again, and he says, what have you done since leaving? Brooklyn was a failure. Phoenix currently is a failure, and you're about to jump ship to the next best available team. And he says, all-stars, 50, 40, 90, all-NBA, efficient buckets, brother. I also got a career-high assist one year, hit 30,000 points, won a couple Olympic golds and MVPs. What a career, and I'm still going. I love my life. And then put a bunch of laughing emojis.
Ooh.
And then this person says, you're clearly insecure about your accomplishments. Otherwise, you wouldn't be arguing on here with us.
That's fair.
And he says, I'm minding my business. A guy send a random tweet about how he doesn't like my career. I respond saying I disagree, but I'm the insecure one. Someone please explain this logic to me. In my mind, the guy who hit me unprovoked is insecure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's hilarious just to imagine Kevin Durant. I think he's probably smiling when he's doing this.
I'm smiling right now.
Yeah. He's got to just be cheesing like these guys are idiots.
Oh, man. I had MySpace, I think, back then, and I didn't even have a MySpace account for all this social media when I was playing, man.
You have the little edits, the little profile. You have the music on your profile.
I didn't have it.
That was the very first thing I ever made was in MySpace. I was in 6th grade.
But KD, man. Yeah, that's Zay laughing. You guys, not me. Like that. That's that little quiet little assassin laugh that he
Yeah,
has.
I always, yeah.
Okay.
That's my signature.
When I had courtside seats for a year watching the Sacramento Kings, maybe about 7-8 years ago, KD gave me some love, man. He said, "What's up?" So I got to start with that. I got to start with that first. And what I'm about to say, it has nothing to do with that. I'm a KD fan.
Yeah.
The man is almost, his wingspan is unreal. It's almost 8 feet probably, and he's a guard. Had an unbelievable career at Texas, and he's still playing at a high level. The whole clap back. Now, one thing I'm good for is not clapping back like that. You know what I mean? I agree with the person that said what I think it was a she. As far as like him. I mean, I agree with not the fact of him being insecure. I agree with the other part of him not clapping back, because you can Google his resume and you can figure that out. It's one of those things. It's like social media. Like you have a chance to hide behind a computer and being able to come at people. Like ain't nobody gonna come up to him and tell him not to his face like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole different aspect of it. People can come up and talk crap, but do they really like let you know? Like, yeah, some people do, but it's not. It's one of those things that's not always realistic or always going to happen, I think. But if you got an opinion about Kevin Durant right now and where he's going to go, which we're going to get into right now as well, you can call or chop it up with your boy 505-246-0610.
This person says, "Do you still think you were the best scorer in the NBA today?" He says, "To be honest, stopped caring after I won my 4th scoring title." And you put laughing emojis. So yeah, it's he's unbothered. But with that being said, I do like that he does respond for this reason.
Why?
Because I feel like by him engaging, right? I don't think he's lying at all by saying he doesn't care. I don't think he's putting on a front with this nonchalant kind of like, approach to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I do feel like when you open yourself up to that and you go back and forth with people, even if he's not showing it, someone might say something that'll light a fire in him. Someone may say something
That's fair.
that he might be like, you know what, I'm sick of this, and then turn into MVP KD again, which I think he could do if he mentally wanted to. But just like he said, I think he's like his wingspan, his height, his God-given talent. He doesn't have to be trying to be MVP Kevin Durant to go out there and score 25.
Yeah.
Like he can not care at all and go out there and get buckets.
See, I like that part, not care at all, because he doesn't have to. Obviously, he's getting his checks and he's making 50+ million a year. And he's being able to determine where he goes. Obviously, I heard the Spurs are done. I think the Spurs are out.
Really?
Yeah, I it's social media. Come on, man. You don't know how true that is. But Spurs are out. You still got Minnesota. You still got the Knicks. You still got Houston. What's that 4th one?
You said the Wolves, right?
Yeah, I said the Wolves.
Wolves, Knicks, Houston. I think it's those 3.
Yeah, I'm missing one. But I don't care about the 4th one.
Yeah.
Because I see him going to Minnesota. I would love to see him play with Ant-Man. And if you disagree, I think you should pick up the phone and call in right now, because I think they could complement each other to where there's no pressure there, and who's ever going in the moment of any particular game, the other person just comes in support. I feel like you can even keep Michael Conley at the point. And then you have Nas Reed over there. You got to re-sign him. And then you got Gobert that's probably going to end up leaving because of the money situation, because he makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then you have from New York, what's his come on, the 4-man.
Not Cat.
No. Cat's in New York. Minnesota.
Is it what's the guy? The long Jade McDaniels?
No. He's a forward.
Okay, and you're thinking
he came from the Knicks.
DiVincenzo?
No, he's a guard, bro. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
No, which? Okay. So you want to? It's a forward you're thinking of.
Yeah. I can't think.
Came from the Knicks,
but I'm drawing a blank. But he came from the Knicks. But he's a good complement player to where scoring, when it comes to the post, is always there as well for the Wolves. But man, knowing KD, the bigger market is going to be the Knicks.
Randall.
Yeah, Randall. And I know, Dan, if you're listening to this, I don't think you're a fan of KD going to the Knicks, but I could see him going to a big market like that because it's a primetime market right now, man.
Yeah, I think KD could fit in the Knicks. I think, we've had the same opinion as far as which team we'd like to see him on. But I do think him going to the Spurs would be that would end up being the best team.
I don't like it.
If Wemby stays healthy, I think that would be.
I don't like it.
You don't like that? You don't like that matchup there?
No. I want him to go to the Timberwolves. I mean, and then if he changed his mind and ended up going to the Rockets need scoring in the backcourt. But KD would end up being the primary scorer. You got Green there. But I don't, at 37, I don't see KD being the primary scorer on a continuous basis. But KD could light you up at any given moment, which is the part that I really like.
KD, I think it all depends, again, on how motivated he is. What I think he needs to see something at the end of the tunnel that makes him want to elevate his game.
Yeah.
I think once LeBron was clear-cut better than Kevin Durant, I feel like he was like, all right, well, what else is there what else is a race for? And I mean, not only was LeBron looked at as better, but then he beats LeBron multiple times in the finals. So I think at that point, he's like, all right, I think in his mind, that might have peaked his career. In his mind, I feel like he's like, all right, I got nothing else to play for. I did it. Now I'll go ahead and cruise because I can.
That's fair.
But if he ends up going to one of these big name teams like the Knicks, I think that will wake him up.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with you, but yeah. Yeah. I actually agree with that.
The Knicks need to get a coach. I mean, if the Knicks are going to bring in Kevin Durant.
Had a coach.
They definitely had one.
You know what I mean? They had a coach. They had a successful coach. And the coach went there. I mean, we talk about Tibbs. He went there and he brought them and put them back on the map, even though New York is a big market.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's hard to do.
It's hard to do. And he got them into the Eastern Conference Finals after 20, 25 years. They haven't been.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't understand that, but they still owe the man $30 million, and he's still going to get every dime of it. But yeah, man. Yeah,
we'll I don't know how long it's going to take for them to figure out.
But when you got Hart over there and you got Bronson, that are the two top guys in the backcourt. One is more offensive minded, and one's more defensive minded. But Hart can score, even though he's defensive minded. Man, when you have a coach that you've established a relationship with, it totally changes the narrative, and then you got to start all over by building structure with the new coach. And they don't even know who the coach is. When you have the Knicks going after coaches that are on other teams and asking for permission, come on, man. You desperate, and you didn't even have to be that desperate. So, hey, we'll be right back. We'll talk a little bit of some U.S. Open. I'm a golf guy. If you know me, my golf tournament coming up September 6th at Isleta Golf Course. I'm going to have some celebrities there. I'll get into that a little bit. But I'm going to give Zay some 101 into golf.
Yeah, because I don't know anything.
I got you, young fella. We'll be right back. You're listening to 95.9 FM at 610 The Sports Animal. Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because I'm going to be 48 next month. Hey.
Hey, you still far away from 50.
Hey, I don't care. I'm proud. Hey, 50 can come right away, man. I don't care. Oh, you jamming right now. Hey, yeah, just to let you guys know, you're listening to Unfiltered with your boy Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal. See, Zay trying to get me in relax mode because he don't know nothing about golf. Jeff Symbieta told me yesterday when I was doing a show with him, Zay don't even know what par is, you guys out there. yeah, that's bad.
You know what's hilarious? When you told me yesterday, you were like, yo, touch up your golf knowledge. In my head, I knew it right away. I was like, hold on, it's Friday. I was like, I bet Jeff heard me not know what a par was on Thursday. You. Yeah, on Thursday, I didn't know what a par was. And I was like, I bet Jeff told him on the show on Friday, like, don't bring him golf today. He's not going to know what to talk about.
Yeah, that's why I was like, and then DC Dale, who gives us this amazing rundown that we have, he's like, yeah, it'd be a great opportunity to break him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Okay, so
I'm a sponge.
It's easy, man. Hey, so there's only you got a par 3, you got a par 4, and you got a par 5.
Okay.
So those are par, right? When I say par 3, you got to knock it in the hole in three
shots. Par 4, 4.
Yeah,
that's the baseline.
Yeah, you know sports. Yeah, you'll pick up on this real quick.
Just par though. I ain't gonna lie.
So bogeys are 1 over par.
Got you. Okay.
Double bogey, 2 over par.
Got you.
Triple bogey, 3 over par.
Okay.
And then when you're really good, not like me, I'm not really good. You go minus, right? That means if you have a par 3, you get it in 2. That is called a birdie.
Okay.
And so forth. You have a par 4, you get it in 3. That's called a birdie. Par 5, you get it in 4.
Birdie.
Birdie.
Got you.
Yeah, and then what you'll never ever happen or see to a certain extent when you see eagles, that's and so forth. You just take another one off minus. That's an eagle for each hole.
Got you.
It's that simple. Yeah, but there's not a lot of times when I'm getting birdies. But yeah, I love to have fun.
So the scoring system. So you get a par. What do you put down as your score? Is that a 0?
No, you get a par. What's par? How many times can you hit it in?
Well, if it's a par 3, then you get 3 shots.
There you go. So you write down 3.
Okay, so when guys are negative, how are they getting into the net? How are they getting like -5?
So you get -5 because par for the course. Say par for the course is like 70 something, right? And then you just keep subtracting.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? Each hole, there's 18 holes, right? So you just keep subtracting every time. You actually hit the ball in sooner than when you're supposed to if you're trying to get par.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I explained that right. If you think I didn't explain it right, call in and check your boy 505-246-0610. I got to give a shout out, man. Nota Begay, my boy. He's a local guy. He's actually calling the U.S. Open right now at Oakmont.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to meet Nota one time.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get him out to my golf tournament, but I know he's busy this time of year in September, which is September 6th at Isleta Golf Course, having some celebrities there. Yeah, he's in Oakmont, man. He's in Philadelphia, my stumping grounds where I play with the Sixers. And I got to give a shout out to Victor Perez. He actually played golf here at UNM. Man, yesterday
he's killing it, wasn't it?
Man, yesterday he hole in one he had yesterday. And where's it at? Let me see if I can find this. I have the clip. Where's the clip? Thomas. I don't think I have the clip, but I think it was a 7-iron. He hit like 170, and it was a par 3, Zay, and he hit it in one. That's a hole in one. That's an eagle.
Okay.
That's an eagle on a par 3. Does that make sense?
Yes, because if he would have got it in 2, it would have been a birdie, but he got it in 1, so it was an eagle.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got Dan on the line. I don't know. It didn't sound like Nick's Dan, but it might be.
Oh, no. This is City Councilman Dan Champagne, I think. What's up, Dan? What's up, my guy? It isn't Dan from New York. That's the crazy Knicks fan that calls on Lobos Live doing my live talk show. He calls into the show sometimes. What's up, man? Thank you for the text.
Nada. Just getting, stopped my morning to-do list and now moving on to the afternoon to-do list. So,
hey,
stuff. What are you up to?
Hey, man, just living a dream.
He's teaching me golf right now.
I heard golf talk. I know.
Yeah, this is the perfect segment because I get to play with our councilman Dan Champagne. That's weird even saying that because he's my boy. Since we're on air, I gotta call you that. I get the opportunity to play with Dan, Councilman Champagne, in some golf tournaments.
Dan.
Last year, we played in the APS golf tournament. We won that thing, and everybody's going to say we cheated, but everybody cheats. But no, we actually did not cheat. Come on, he's a councilman, man. Hey, Dan, I know it's Juneteenth, and I know you're close with Councilwoman Nicole Rogers. We have the Juneteenth event over at City Plaza today. I will be going over there. I'm actually doing a 3-on-3 tournament that's going to start around 11:30 with my boy Josh Kearns, who I'm going to probably get on the air in a little bit. But can you give us a little bit of like what's going on as far as the planning with Nicole Rogers and different things that she's kind of shared with you, if you don't mind?
They've got a lot. They've got a lot going on. It's
at 5550. It's going to go out by itself.
And I stopped by, and I'm planning to go this afternoon as well. So I'll probably
like the music's going to hit.
Vendors, they've got a lot of outreach tables and stuff of vendors of food, but also outreach programs that they're doing to help the community, to kind of emphasize not only helping the community, but also helping the business side of the community too.
Yeah.
You know, ones that help the community. But so it's kind of twofold. It's getting people and the citizens and stuff involved, but also starting to help promote small businesses throughout the town. The 3-on-3 tournament's going to be crazy. It's been a while since we've had the 3-on-3 hoop it up type of tournament. So that's going to be fun. And then it's going to lead into music. She's got a headliner and a couple of opening acts that are going to go on to Civic Plaza and stage. So even right now with the heat kicking in, it's going to be indoors at the convention center. And then later on when it starts to cool off, those events I think are going to be outside like they were last year. So it should be busy, man.
Awesome.
It's gonna be
fun. I'm going to go ahead, Zay.
Hey, Kenny, say hi to everybody. They just hopped in the truck.
Hey, what's up, family?
Up about you talking golf. So
what's up, family?
Hello.
No, you guys can't say much.
By the way, you're on the radio too.
Yeah, you're live right now.
He said, "No, you guys can't say much."
Hey, family, do me a favor. I gotta take a quick break. Dan, can I get a couple more minutes with you after this break? But I think Zay has something real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So the music will hit in about 20 seconds. So Dan, real quick. So you and Kenny won a golf tournament together. So I'm lefty, and Kenny told me he was lefty. Do you have any like specific tips you'd want to give somebody who's left-handed?
Hold that.
Buy a set of right-handed clubs.
Hold that thought, and we'll be right back after this break. Hey, stay with me, man. We're gonna take a quick break right now. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal.
Yeah. So the way the music goes, so like for this one at 5550. So the music kicks by itself, but then you talk for like the minute or so while the music's going, maybe like 45 seconds, because that music, you're kind of like slowly winding down the segment. And then you get out of there and then it goes. Yeah, so you usually for that one, the music will go. And then once you hear that. Yeah, no, that was cool. That was cool the way you did it.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. I overdosed on heroin, and I lived. And I started thinking.
Ned said, "Hey, tell Kenny black folks don't play golf. What he said, we don't play on greens. We eat our greens."
My desire to stay the same. I felt powerless for so much of my life. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it. I definitely had.
When I turned the game on, I seen that shit, and I was like, "What the hell?"
For the first time, I finally feel like I'm exactly
Sports Animal.
You're listening to Unfiltered with your boy KT, and I got Zay back there producing like he always does. We're going to bring back in Councilman Dan Champagne. What's up, bro?
What up, man?
Hey, you want to talk some hoops? I know you saw Game 4, or were you in a council meeting?
No, Game 4. No, actually, I was. I was in a land use and zoning committee and I was trying. They had it on the back TV in the back break room, so I didn't get to watch any of it.
Hey,
I heard.
Go ahead.
What was the result of it?
Pacers lost. OKC won. It's 2-2. Going back to OKC game 5. Give us your thoughts. And then at the same time after that, I want to ask you some of the big things you got going on if you want to share one.
OKC is going to be tough at home. You know that. I mean, look at what they did all season long, which could be interesting because, okay, so correct me on this because I'm old and I remember it was 2-2
We're the same
and
age,
then
we're not old.
1-1, but they've flipped that, didn't it? 2-3-2?
I think so. I want to say you're right.
I mean, you've got game 5 there, and they go up 3-2, but then you got to pop back to Indiana, and then that's 2 games in Indiana. That's a tough road.
Oh,
but I can see OKC go up 3-2 now.
Oh, without a doubt, the way that OKC came out with that energy, it was people didn't expect it. Even though they're calling the Pacers underdogs, I think that's out. These are 2 teams that are playing similar. And at the same time, if teams are not making shots, as you saw the Pacers last night, they were not making shots. So, hey, man, share with us what you got going on. If there's anything big coming on, that's for the community you want to share or just something in general.
Well, we've got a lot of stuff going on.
I know you do. You can't share.
Council, we just finished up budget. So that's getting done. We've got a lot of they've got a break coming up. So I didn't realize this month of July we get breaks as far as no meetings, but the councilors are still hard at work during that month. So I'm gearing up for a lot of capital outlay programs that I put up. So we're fixing up medians. We're redoing Eisenhower Pool. I want to put a splash pad in there. We're kind of cleaning things up a little bit. Just a lot of regular, grinding on the job. That's about it right now.
Man, I appreciate you calling in and the amazing work that you're doing for our city because it's needed. And hey, you're my guy. Isotopes games coming up here pretty soon. I appreciate you. And hi and bye, family. You guys have a good day. And And Dan, I'll see you today, right? At Juneteenth event at Civic Plaza, right?
Yeah. Hey, and I was just reminded tomorrow's Father's Day. So, happy Father's Day to everybody. Hope you're enjoying some family time this weekend and tomorrow especially. So
I appreciate that, bud. I'll text you tomorrow, obviously, for Father's Day. Thanks for calling in.
Yep. Bye, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you.
See you, Dan. Thank you.
Man, that's my guy. That's my guy. You never know who's going to call into the show. So, Hey, stay with me. Remember that guest I brought up if you're listening to the first hour, or if you were not listening, here's a little recap. I have a guest coming on probably in the next 15, 20 minutes. I got drafted with him to the Houston Rockets in 1999. He was the top 2 pick. He's phenomenal. Played at the University of Maryland. My guy, my first guest. So I'm not going to put it out there. Hopefully he's going to get on. You know how these celebrities can get. But I think Steve, I said his name.
Steve, you didn't say the last name. There's a lot of Steves. There's a lot of Steves.
So I think he's going to get on. So stay tuned for that. But, man, I got to bring up something. If you're watching game 4 and you were courtside and you saw those bright colors over there, it turns out that those 2 guys were wearing Dumb and Dumber colors to represent Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins and what they were wearing. And then they have big signs on their chests. The orange was for Stephen A. Smith. And then what color is that? Light blue?
Yeah.
That's an ugly light blue. I'd rather wear the orange. Was for Kendrick Perkins. That's awesome.
Kendrick's one of the easiest people to troll, I think, because every time he has any type of take or saying, I think he does it on purpose. I'm sure he does. But it's very easy to clip it. He's always got funny lines. Stephen A. Smith is not, he's someone who obviously he always finds himself getting teased, trolled, made fun of. I think both these guys, hopefully they should be able to handle it pretty well.
Man, let me tell you something. I got a story to share. It's a short story.
Okay.
Stephen A. Smith thought I got overpaid when I got my multi-million-dollar contract with the Sixers.
Watching.
I'm like, you hater.
Stephen A. Smith is always pocket watching. He is that guy that's going to tell the whole world how much you're getting paid and tell people why he doesn't think you should be getting paid that much.
Yeah, he let me have it because he was in Philly reporting at the time. Oh yeah, Kenny Thomas got paid, blah blah blah. But let me tell you something. I took a $10 million pay cut because I was there the night before in Philly, and I was one of the first ones to sign. I'm like, if they offering this, why would I leave? I like Philadelphia. Philadelphia is good for me. To me, if you don't play hard in Philly, that's a whole different situation. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna try and get AI on the show.
That would be.
Hey, he texts me back every now and then, but he don't always respond. But I'll take it.
Hey, you gotta take it where you can get it. And we didn't get a chance. Speaking of courtside, Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if you would have pulled a LeBron and walked up on him if you saw him. But how'd you feel about that situation?
That's a great situation.
We never got to chop it up about that.
When you got the king standing over you the way he did, and you talking about his family? Come on, man.
To me, it was as a father part.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even about being it's not about being LeBron James anymore. It's about, hey, this is my kid, and you might be going in too much, and you got short man Stephen A. Smith, and you got the king standing over you. Like I said, the king standing over you. Yeah, you might have a little heart there. You know what I mean? And it was during the game, so yeah. I don't know if you peeped it. I think security was over there too. But come on, man. I didn't think anything was going to happen, but I would have loved to reported that on Unfiltered.
Stephen A. Smith went afterwards, and this little video he put up on YouTube. He was like, oh, by the way, I'm one of ESPN's top prize possessions. If you don't think that they don't got people rolling with me everywhere I go, you must be out your mind. He's like, you look to my left, to my right, those big boys, they were right there. I'm like, Stephen A., he really, that's like the number one thing people would tell you not to do if you lose a fight. Don't wait till the person leaves and then run your mouth. And Stephen A., as he seems the persona he gives out, he wasn't one of those guys scrapping, but he came from an area where I think he knows the rules. Like, I think he knows the do's and don'ts. He knows not to go do that, and he actually did it anyways.
Hey, Stephen A. Smith talking about that $5 million, $100 million. Yeah, he that's why he got his chest out. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron, I'm up there with you.
Yeah. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Yeah. Cut that in half. You know what I mean? Come on, Steven. But hey, he's a reporter. He's supposed to do his job.
You ever want to press a reporter? Was there ever like one reporter where you're just like, man, that's the guy that's writing those articles, or that's the guy that's running his mouth, or there's a certain fan that always sits in the same spot, and you're like thinking about saying something, but you're like, nah, be professional.
Man, that's normal. That's a given. That's one of those things that always happens, and you can't control the narrative because they're gonna control the narrative. Only thing you can do is punches you got to take, and it comes with the territory.
Even in high school, you probably had to deal with that here.
Oh my goodness, yes.
If they had the pit packed out, you guys were hearing it.
Man, let me tell every game pretty close. It was at least 16 to 17. If it wasn't sold out, 18,000. Hey man, you better do your research. Let me tell you something. Only lost 3 games in the pit in 4 years. I was 71-3 in the pit in 4 years. Ranked in the top 25 all 4 years. And I had to go through a legal situation by suing the NCAA to be able to play college ball because they took a half credit off my transcript. Random, just took it off. So I had to get an injunction to be able to play. So I missed the first month and a half of training to get ready for the season. And I was a fat boy. I needed it. I'm serious. I really needed it. And then I had to do extra cardio even when I got there, because they felt like I needed to lose weight, man, which I did. And it ended up working out for me. But yeah, man, it's one of those things. Things do happen. Hey, if you want to call and chop it up with your boy, call 505-246-0610.
I will say that's one of the crazy things about being an athlete that people, you go through life and you got these sayings and people tell you, like, oh, don't be too hard on yourself, or, don't compare yourself to others and don't do this. But as an athlete, you almost have to. I mean, unless you're somebody who's like a LeBron or like a Wemby and you're just a physical freak, and by you focusing on being your best self, you're just one of the best. But most athletes, like, sometimes you gotta, it takes that person to say you're out of shape. Like it takes that person to say you suck at something. And it's not natural. It's not healthy for the human brain to hear those things. But when you can control it with practice or a diet or paying for a nutritionist, like you said,
Yeah.
then I feel like it's okay to be critical or, be hard on yourself.
It comes with growth, man. Growth when you're young, you're still learning. Growth is a part of life. Growth is when you're being an athlete, it's a part of developing and evolving, and you get an opportunity to grow. I was able to play in the NBA for 11 years, and it's a blessing I was able to play that long. And being able to stick is not easy. I had 10 coaches in 11 years. I had to go through adversity every year to a certain extent. But hey, it was all worth it. I had a blast. Like I said earlier in the show, hey, I still have dreams, man, sometimes about still hooping and being able to give back to the community with different things that I have going on when it comes to that. Hey, this is the way that I'm able to give back by especially doing things like today for Juneteenth. If you want to come out and celebrate and hang out, Bobby Valentino is going to be there performing today.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Dan said that. I don't know if you heard that. I think, yeah. Bobby Valentino's. What? You got a problem with Bobby?
Hold on. No, I'm looking. Yeah, these are some bangers.
You got Bobby Valentino. You got your boy KT doing a 3-on-3 tournament. You can still go register. It's free. You can still go register. Registration starts for my 3-on-3 event that my boy Josh Kearns is doing that I do basketball tournaments with. You can still go register right now. Registration doesn't close until like 11:30. It's going to be fun. And it's of all ages, boys and girls, obviously. Not turning anybody away. It's going to be fun. Like my boy Dan said, City Councilman Dan Champagne, there's going to be some vendors out there. There's going to be food out there. There's going to be an opportunity to mingle. This is an unbelievable opportunity for us to go out and celebrate a national, a national celebration for our people.
Yeah.
And everybody can come. Doesn't matter what color you are. Let's come out and support the cause. We appreciate it. That's going on at Civic Plaza. We will be right back. We will talk maybe a little bit more golf, but we will maybe elaborate on Game 5 a little bit in OKC, see what's going on in that situation. And my guest, I said his name's Steve, is supposed to be calling in probably between now and the next segment. We'll be right back on 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal. Okay.
You like that one?
Oh, yeah, that's hot. You're listening to Unfiltered with your boy Kenny Thomas on 95.9 and AM 610 The Sports Animal. Hey, man, my boy called in. My boy Steve Francis, the second pick in the 1999 draft from Maryland, got drafted by Vancouver. Then my boy got traded to Houston, where I was able to play with him. I got drafted the 22nd. Being able to have my man be able to join me right now, my first celebrity caller, man. Steve, I appreciate you coming in. What's up?
I appreciate it. What's up, Rook? How you doing, man? And like I said, I always wanted to come back to Albuquerque since the time that we had our preseason game there in the pit. That was probably my only time there.
Oh, yeah, that is right. We had our preseason game with the Rockets here, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was able to have some kind of influence there, but yeah, it was cool. Hey, did you? Yeah, right. My man Steve had all that influence. Hey, being able to come back to Albuquerque. Hey, I'm going to get you back here. There's some stuff I'm doing here. I know you're not a big golfer, but there's some other things I got going on. If you guys notice, he called me Rook. We both got drafted the same year. This is what we've called each other since we came in. Steve, man, thanks for joining, man. Where you at? You in D.C. right now? What's going on in D.C.?
Yeah, I'm here visiting my family. You know, my grandma's still here. Of course, you know, my ties to the University of Maryland. And the reason why I still call you Rook, because, you know, regardless, like you said, regardless of our picks, we were both, you know, selected. And we came on the team with some veterans like Hakeem, we had Charles, and we had, you know, the Rockets organization. We just came off some championships and, you know, a big high. So we were the rookies that were assigned to try to bring that organization back. But I thought we did a good job our first, couple years we played together.
Yeah, my man, you did an unbelievable job. I was watching you sky and jump because I used to watch you on TV in Maryland with them big, thick calves you got. Yeah, I didn't play the first 45 games. I got some sprinkles, you know what I mean? But we did have fun. Hey, when I called you the other day about being on the show, you brought up a situation about Vancouver and how that situation happened. You wanna elaborate a little bit on that? I know you want to get that out there, what you told me.
It's been, you can look it up. We did a movie a couple of years ago. It's called The Grizzly Truth, where we basically, after 20 years, the organization, which is in Memphis now, they wanted to know exactly what was my aspect as far as, being drafted by Vancouver, like you said in the introduction. But of course, the NBA and all those professional leagues have so much power to have the media turn any way. And I was able to really get into detail about, where I came from and, what I thought about the organization. And after 20 years, they finally understood the reason why I wasn't, the first person who didn't want to play in Vancouver.
Got you.
Steve, so Kenny knows this about me. Everyone here in Albuquerque that listens to the station knows this about me. My idol hero was the late Kobe Bryant. And, there's all these debates going on nowadays about who's the hardest to guard and one-on-one players. And I want to ask you, because I know you played against him. Kenny played against him. Who was tougher to guard, Kobe or LeBron, and why?
We didn't really get a chance to play against LeBron. Yeah. When I was there, I didn't really get an opportunity to play against him that many times. But as far as the approach to the whole game, Kobe's definitely above a lot of people that I've played against and played with. I played 3 NBA All-Star games we started together. And this is approach even in those confinements and playing against him in the playoffs or playing against him 8 times every year. Hands down, I think he's one of the hardest working players to ever, play basketball in general, not the NBA.
Yeah, my man. Hey, obviously, my man Steve Francis said he was a 3-time NBA, 2002 to 2004, NBA Rookie of the Year, 2002, NBA Rookie First Team, 2002. Hey, man, give a little bit of insight of how it was playing in an All-Star game and how that felt, because you were always there.
I think, and I look at it nowadays, I think, it was kind of an honor because the guys who were before us, like Magic and, all those guys came before us, Kevin Garnett and all those guys. So just to be able to see those stars on that level at the All-Star game, to me, was enough besides just playing in the game.
Yeah. You still involved with Reebok, bro?
Man, good question.
Because the stuff with AI and Shaq right now, I need a Reebok deal, bro. Here in New Mexico,
man,
I'm doing some stuff.
Remember, I used to give all the guys Reeboks, but nah, man, they haven't reached out. Hopefully, one day we'll be able to get to the table. But I remember, and I know I made sure everybody had some of those on. Whenever
he had his own shoes. Hey, let's elaborate a little bit. How many different shoes did you have with Reebok?
Ah, man, probably like
about 4, 5.
Probably like 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Every year they were different. I know that.
Man, you got something for him, and then we'll let him go
crazy.
in a minute.
Yeah. So, Steve, my quick question is a big talk also nowadays with the NBA, and I was telling Kenny the biggest thing I like about this final series is I feel like it's influencing the use of the midi, like the mid-range game, and the Celtics losing the way they lost. Shooting as many threes as they shot and missed. I feel like the NBA is going back in the right direction, but you've also got some people that think this is the best basketball that's being played. I'm not one of those guys. Where are you as far as that goes with the state of the NBA right now, with the way it's played, the level of physicality, the amount of shots being put up?
Yeah, and I'm glad that you analyze that because I think they're trying to integrate bigs more. And I think when I seen the guy from Memphis, the big guy,
Jackson.
Once I seen them pairing him and John Moran up with an all-world guard and, with, a center that they're trying to bring along. And even seeing these guys go Oklahoma, Berthenstein, whatever this guy's name is, 55. So once I see guys like diving to the basket and really crashing the board, so that for a guard like myself that wants to get out and run and who also wants to mix it up on the inside, that's always something that you want to see.
Yo, Rook, come on, man. Is this game soft now? I know we're not out there playing. And explain why it's soft. Coming from Steve Francis,
it's not the hand checking rule. It's just that you're able to rewind it and say, hey, he fouled me, something like that. Like, come on. Like, to me, I think that rule, I think it's just like go home and check the ball up. I'm just like, all right, you fouled, let's get the next one. And the referees agree. So that means to show you that they're stopping the games. And as you see, referees came out and admitted that they were, they were messing up games. And I showed some instances when I thought that some refs made some questionable calls against myself. So I think the refs and Mr. Silva have softened the games up. It's not the players' fault.
Got you.
Fair enough.
One last thing, man. I got to ask you about the finals now between OKC and the Pacers. How you see that unfolding. Obviously, I want you to pick one and give me a little bit of insight on what you think about SGA and Tyrese Halliburton, if you don't mind.
It's a change of the guard, two different unorthodox style of handling a basketball. And back in my day, if I handled the ball for 10 seconds or more, they were criticized. But these guys handle the ball for 12, 14, 15 seconds. Yeah. But, they're considered creators. So it's as the times are turning, the guards are turning. But don't get me wrong. They're out there putting up hell of a numbers. SGA is a point guard who won an MVP, and I'm always shooting for the smaller guy, to take advantage of a big guy's game. So it's up in the air with both of those two guys, but I think Siakam is doing his best to say he's the MVP, and I give him a nudge to Indiana with Siakam playing the way he's playing.
I appreciate you, bro. Hey, man, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it, Rook, and I'll look at having you on, man. It's an honor, and it was a real honor to be able to be drafted with you and being able to call you my friend, and I love you, and let's keep this Rook thing going, and appreciate you, bro. You have a good one, man.
I appreciate you, guys.
Thank you, Steve.
Albuquerque.
Appreciate you, fam. Have a good one.
Thanks.
The amazing Steve Francis just gave me chills because my boy called in to my show. I'm like a big kid in a candy store right now. You kidding me?
You know what I like seeing visually, though? I tell you what, and this is how you can see if someone's in their element or not, or getting acclimated.
Yeah.
Just like body language wise, when he got on the phone, you were probably the most comfortable that you've been since we started the show.
Was I comfortable on the camera?
Well, not that you were ever uncomfortable, but it's just like you can tell when it's like, okay, this is how it used to be. This is now I'm in my comfort zone. These are my boys. So that's dope to get Steve on and be able to ask.
Man,
people.
He got way more perks than I did, man. We both had to pick up laundry in the morning and go pass them out to all the players. But yeah, Kenny Thomas had to go pass out all the players to the laundry. Like Charles Barkley sitting on the plane, and I'm like one seat behind him. He's like, "Yo, Rook." I thought he was talking to Steve Francis because he's right there. He's like, "No, he's talking to me," because he wanted me to get up and come hand him his bag. You got to keep it. You got to also keep in mind. 10 years later, I saw Charles in Vegas, like, "What's up, KT?" You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. To being a rookie, you got to go through the process and go through all the different things. And I had it bad, but I didn't have it too bad. But yeah, man, I can't believe I just had franchise on the line. You know what I mean?
That's tough.
It's being able to have my own show and being able to have it with you and being able to have somebody like him on. That he's impacting. I mean, he's been able to impact the NBA and the things that he's doing off the court. We weren't able to get into it, but he's doing a lot of different things in the community. He's still in Houston. He's a community guy like myself. And you notice, even though this podcast and what we're doing is national, you notice Albuquerque, he gave Albuquerque a lot of love.
Yeah.
The fact that we were able to play a preseason here, and I got the team to come here. And I got the Sacramento the Kings to come here too to play in the pit back in the day.
That's tough.
Since Steve brought that up, but and I got the Sixers to come in too. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, put the jersey up, Pitt. Yeah. Put the jersey up.
Yeah, right. Ain't no jersey hanging in the pit. And we used to be able to sneak in and see some of them practice and get a little inside scoop. But yeah, man, it was always one of those things to where, hey, we can't wait to get the opportunity to go to the NBA. I was blessed to have that opportunity to play in the NBA for 11 years. And I'm just getting started with my celebrity list, man. Just to throw that out there, Zay. I'm going to light you up with some people. And I will confirm this, that Gary Payton is coming on the show for sure, because I just saw him a few weeks ago. So
Ooh.
I'm going to try and get my man the glove that took me under his wing back when he was playing in Seattle. I used to hang out with him after games, and he didn't let me pay for nothing, man.
Really?
He's my guy.
That's
yeah.
one.
And then I got one for you. I don't know if I said this already. No, I might have. But, yeah, me and Kobe Bryant are the only two that's on his wall that he called his rookies. Man.
Yeah.
So
you and Kobe up on the wall. That's tough.
What you think about Steve Francis, Joe?
You know, anytime, and when he towards the end of his career, 07, 08, that was when basketball, like, I cared about basketball more than school. I played football, but I had way more fun watching basketball. And because he was on, the Knicks and the Rockets, I do remember seeing him on the TV screen playing. So
yeah,
it's another one of those moments. Same way with doing Lobo Live with you.
Yo,
a while like last year.
2007. How old were you?
2007.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
I was 11 or 12.
That's awesome.
Yep. Awesome. Actually, I was 10 or 11 because I was born in 97. So yeah, man. And it, just like doing Lobo Live with you over there. And I remember, I'm in there producing, and you came on, and I go to Google, and I'm looking at it. I'm looking through the numbers. And I'm like, hold on. He didn't torch my Lakers. And I don't know if you remember or not. That was
triple-double.
It was one of the first things I said. I was like, yo, I just saw that you got triple-double on Kobe and Shaq.
Triple-double.
You're like, yeah, and you told me something else. You smoked him too in another game. You're like, yeah, my career high was against the Lakers or something like that. And I was like, that's crazy. So then being able to, another time, this is now the second player I'm able to talk to that's played against Kobe, seen Kobe. I'm not on some journey to just ask everybody about him, but it is hard not to.
Yeah, you are.
I am. I honestly am.
You are. It's fine.
Gary Payton, I'm gonna ask. Gary, I'm gonna ask.
AI. And all the guys I'm bringing on are cool, man. Trust me. Some of it's one. How do you not ask them? It's like you. I know we're about to switch right now. You excited to go to this Michael Parsons?
Oh, Michael
Pierce.
Parsons. Oh, see, the Texans fan. See, Cowboy fans.
See, I don't care.
Yeah, he's a Texans fan. You see that? That's blatant disrespect to our Cowboys.
And he's a beast, though.
He is a beast.
I just didn't pronounce it right.
I will say Micah is the one guy.
Micah. See, I thought it was Michael.
No, it's Micah.
Don't care.
M-I-C-A-H. Micah and CeeDee Lamb are the two people, or even if you're a Cowboy hater, you acknowledge those guys are dogs.
CeeDee Lamb, fantasy football, but I will never draft the Cowboys defense in fantasy football.
I don't blame you on that.
You have to stutter like you have to think about it?
Yeah, no, I don't blame, because a few years ago they were insane.
A few years ago, you guys have blown up that defense.
They blown up their knees.
You guys have lost a lot of pieces. You think I don't know football? Yeah, we're going to go at it when football season starts, because I play fantasy football, bro. I'm in 4 leagues.
Yeah, our defense, they blew their knees out.
Yeah,
4 leagues is crazy, and I bet you got some skin in the game there. So you're taking that serious.
Man, yeah. I maybe.
Have you ever won a fantasy league?
What? Yes, I have. And in the fantasy league, I've won. I've won in all 4. Put it like that. And then there's a big one I got. I'm not gonna say how much, but there's a big one I got that I've won. And each one of these, you have 12 guys in it. So you do the math. And the math is me winning, and I've already won back my money that I put in over X amount of years anyway, and I'm just gambling with free money now.
Okay, so that's really all that matters, because you'll win a bet on something, maybe one of these apps like Prize Picks or something, and you're all happy, but then you realize that you actually just won back the money that you've been spending for all your L's the past 3 weeks.
You should have saw me. You should have saw me when I first started. I was like you in golf. I had no clue. I had no clue. I knew the game, but I'm like, okay, so you only draft offensive guys, right? So it makes a lot of sense.
On the line, we've got he said he wants to speak to Coach Thomas. His name was Len Cotta, I believe.
Oh, okay. What's up, Coach Thomas? He must be talking about TBT. It was short-lived, only coached for 4 years. What's up, man?
Hey, Coach, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? What you got for me?
I'm just hanging out here and listening to your show. I'm glad they gave you your own show, because I love listening to you on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Thank you, man. Hey, have you heard Lobos Live after every men's game over on KKOB? The call-in show?
No, that's interesting.
I have a call-in show over at KKOB after every men's Lobo game. There's a call-in show, man. Sometimes I stay up till like 2:00 in the morning because people be calling for like 2 hours, and sometimes I got to shut down the lines just to get out. You got to check that out.
No, I will. Hey, and I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Number one, I wanted to kind of give props to my brother who passed away, Scarborough, Melvin.
Yeah.
He did a lot of things for the kids in northern New Mexico, and through all the Native American communities, he ran all kinds of basketball camps. And I was wondering, is that something you might think about doing with the northern kids?
Yes.
I know you run a bunch of basketball camps, and we'd love to have you up here in the north.
So if you're listening out there right now, if you want to reach out to me, my email is kenny@kennythomas.com. If you're listening right now, and if you're in northern New Mexico and you want me to come up there and do some stuff, I'll elaborate on that a little bit more once you get off, about the things that I do have coming up north, just to let you know. And to put it out there, just reach out to me and maybe we can figure something out. I would love to, because Scar, who was a good friend of mine back when I was in college, he used to take me up north, me and Charles Smith, to have us do some of those camps with him. I'm not trying to replace Scar, but if I can help carry on his legacy, maybe we can even name it after Scar with the camp we're doing up there, because Scar is a legend that came from Chicago, the East Coast, to where he changed the dynamic of Lobo basketball, and he put Lobo basketball on the map on a consistent basis. So I'm totally interested. You got anything else for me?
That would be great, because I know Darian Hobson is here at Northern New Mexico College, and it would be great for you guys to come back this way, because it's been a while. Everybody was disappointed and hurt, when he passed away. And, we ran camps together for years. And it would be great for you guys to come back to the Native American community.
Well, I know I can't speak for any other Lobos, but I can speak for myself. I am more than willing to come up north to have a presence up north. I do a lot of things up in Santa Fe, and I do some stuff up north, but I'm looking at doing some stuff with Northern New Mexico University with the president up there. So it's coming. I'm even looking at doing some stuff in Taos. So I would love to come out there. Just contact me, man. You got anything else for me?
That's all I was asking. And like I said, we ran a bunch of basketball camps, and I was working with former director of recreation from Rio Rebo County, Joseph Martinez. And we did a bunch of camps. And hey, I'm from Taos. I'm a Taos Tiger, baby. So that's how we roll, man. That's how we roll. We got to do some stuff together.
Yeah, I'm down.
We're still looking at it and taking care of the kids and the northern kids, and we have one kid that can play. Oh boy, he's an ex Kenyan Owino. Kenyan's going to Montana, so give him a shout out too.
Yeah, that kid. Yeah, I heard about that kid that's going to Montana. He's really good.
Yeah, that's our nephew.
He plays at which high school?
He was at Volcano Vista.
Okay, that's what I thought, because they won it this year. State title.
Yeah, they won it 4 years in a row. He's a Gatorade player 3 years in a row.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he left to Montana like about 3 weeks ago, so he's doing good.
That's awesome.
Hey,
man.
Anything you can do and help us out and come to the north, come to the Pueblo.
Hey, I gave you
we'd appreciate it.
I gave you my information. Just contact me, and then I'll get you in contact with my manager, and we can go from there. But thanks for calling in, man. I really appreciate you listening to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one. Yeah, man. I don't know if Scarborough, he's way before your time. But he was a real big figure in the community when it comes to the Native community and supporting them, which was huge. And obviously he was a guy that could sky. We just had Steve Francis on. I'm not trying to compare them, but Scar could jump. He was one of those high flyers for a guard, and he wasn't that tall, but he could jump. Man, Scar did a lot of different things in the community. Yeah, so Northern New Mexico, if you want to do some stuff with me, obviously just reach out to me. But we're going to take a quick break. We got one more segment. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal. We are in the last segment of Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas and Zay back there playing some jams. Yeah, I love the way you switching it up. I know I keep bringing it up, but I got to give you acknowledgement.
Appreciate
because
that.
This right here is a legendary song. You're listening to Unfiltered with 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal. It's been a great show, man. I was able to have my homie Steve Francis on, play with him in the NBA, went to the University of Maryland. A young man just called and he wants me to do some stuff up north. I'm totally down. There's a lot of different things I got going on in the community, but we're not going to get into those. We need to talk a little bit about Game 5 coming up in OKC on Monday. Game 4 is very interesting. It was one of those rocky ones. You never knew what was going to happen, who was going to come down the stretch and make shots. Our local guy, Pascal Siakam, who actually went to a place that I really don't bring up and say very often, but he is a New Mexico State Aggie. He's playing some great ball.
Well, your billboard's moving around Cruces right now, so but you got the edge on him.
I appreciate the love. Yeah, you got to check out those Breaking Bad habits, keeping the litter out. I'm not trying to replace Walter White. You still see his face on TV in those commercials, but yeah, the state is mixing it up. Bella Hines and Johnny James, my boy, my people. Bella's going to LSU, and your boy KT. We got some billboards, and we're actually on trash cans. If you see the trash cans, tag me, Kenny Thomas NBA. I'll pop that thing in my story. But Game 5 coming up, man. It's going to be lit in OKC. It's going to be a different environment. Obviously, OKC is going to come out with energy, just like the Pacers did in Game 4 in the beginning. But the Pacers came up short in the third quarter, and after that, to where SGA scored 15 points and the Pacers scored 7. Unfortunate situation. The Pacers ended up going 5 for 18 towards the end of the game, and it was a different situation for OKC. It's going to be interesting, man. I'm probably going to be wrong, so maybe I should pick the opposite, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with what I think is actually going to happen. I'm going to pick OKC winning Game 5. I feel like the Pacers are going to come out with energy. What's going to help determine it is who's going to get out and run a little bit more and control the tempo. If OKC gets out to a big league, the Pacers are going to
I wish.
Yeah, right, you wish. The Pacers are going to have to figure out how to dig themselves out of that hole. The Pacers just got to stay close on the road in Game 5. It's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah, I mean, Mathurin, however you want to pronounce it, he's not going to – maybe he will. He's an NBA player. He scored 30 already in the game. But the Pacers, their last game they won, he scored about 30 points.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to count on that again if I'm a Pacers fan or if I'm supporting the Pacers. Also, I don't know if OKC's – they may not be the best three-point shooting team in the league, but I don't think they're going 3 for 16 from 3 again.
No.
So when you look at this, Shea,
you
they better hope not. Shea, there's been no indication that he's going to score anything less than 30 in any of these games. So right now for the Pacers, this next game is without a doubt a must win.
Oh, are you kidding me? And it's going to come down to Obi Toppin, and it's come down to Miles Turner. Miles Turner hasn't done that much, but he has showed up in the right moments, which is what I need. Obi Toppin is a beast when it comes to the rebounding on the offensive side. So OKC, you're going to have to box him out and limit opportunities for second chance points, but it's going to be flipped on the other side because you got OKC that's also a very athletic team. There's a lot of bigs. I feel like this game is going to be a big moment to where the bigs are going to have to show up, because when Tyrese scores 20-plus points before last game, they were 8-1. They're 8-2, and he only had 18 points last game. So that's going to be a different component to where he's going to get his. Like you say, SGA is going to get his. But I expect Jalen Williams to actually have another good game, especially playing at home, being able to switch it up by bringing the ball up the court. So
he's one of those players where I hope, as you know,
which one?
Jalen Williams.
Okay.
I think the Thunder are going to win if and when they win the championship. I just hope that as years go on, people don't forget how big of a deal he was to this team, because, I mean, he's no SGA, but he almost seems like if SGA is not doing SGA things, Jalen Williams is.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell that I don't know if he watches Shea or watches the way he moves or practices his moves, but they've got a similar play style where as soon as you give them something, they take it. If you give them a little lane, they're going to take it. They're creating space. They're getting to the line and ones. It's hard to beat the Thunder. I feel like this is a series for them to lose.
Creating space is the key, especially in the playoffs right now. The playoffs is a way more physical game. If you saw in Game 4, the referees are going to have to control that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for Game 5 on Monday. Once again, I got OKC. Hey, you want to go through that list real quick of the draft picks? You think we got time?
Oh, the top 5?
Yeah.
The top 5 teams? Yeah. So I saw this thing. I thought this was going to be fun. It's called NBAFantasyDraft.com, and you can put together your starting 5. This is something that everyone obviously always does. Like, who's your all-time starting 5? But I actually wanted to do it in the actual, like, imagine you're picking a team to win. And what would you have? Who would you have at what spots? So as I'm picking here now, it's got all the players on the board. For point guard, I got Magic Johnson.
Yeah. Okay. We agree, even though he's a Laker.
Mm-hmm. Shooting guard, I'm going to go Kobe.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, small forward.
Astrid, Steph Curry.
You think for shooting guard?
Yeah.
Now, Magic at point and Steph at shooting guard would be insane.
Yeah.
Because we've never really seen Steph with, like, all right, Steph, all you need to do is score.
Yeah.
Like, go out there and score only.
Totally agree. Who you got at the 3?
At the 3, MJ.
Yes.
I'm one of those guys.
I am too.
And I feel like
they're not LeBron.
LeBron is going to be my power forward.
That's fair. But I think I would take Tim Duncan.
I know it's crazy. It sounds crazy not
just
putting LeBron
saying.
in there.
Just saying, you can't. Even though you're a Laker, you can't be biased. So who you got at your 5? This is going to be interesting.
5, Shaq. Even though the free throws scare me.
Yeah, but you can't stop the diesel.
You can't. But
hey, did you know it's called Baby Shaq of the Whack?
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, I had to throw that plug in. It would be Shaq or Kareem or Bill Russell for me. Nah, I would say Kareem.
You know, this video, I don't know if it's fake or not. There's been these videos dropping a Wilt when he scored like 50, 60 in a game. And
but Shaq, but those guys were bones back then. You know what I mean? Like, this is back to Pascal Siakam right in the butt. Like, Shaq, he putting you in the basket.
Anybody, put anybody.
Put anybody in the basket. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, hey, this is an unfortunate situation. I was going to have one of my kids call in that's a part of Zia Sports Academy that I partnered up with my boy Josh Kearns. That's over there at Juneteenth right now. It's getting set up for our 3-on-3 event over at Civic Plaza. If you want to come out, it's free of charge. You can come register. You still should be able to get in there, even though everything is started. But yeah, I'll be over there at Civic Plaza if you want to come see your boy.
You got late registration and everything. How many kids you think?
I don't think it's limited to a number. Because we're inside the convention center on the first floor. We have a whole room.
Okay.
But I don't think there's a limit. I don't think there's that amount of people that have registered, but it's going to be a nice little turnout.
So I got a quick question for you. I know the show's going to be wrapping up here in the next minute and a half.
See what happens when we get going?
I know, right? So I got to do this camp. You know, I got to be a coach at Micah Parsons football camp.
He's trying to throw that cowboy crap in.
You know, you got to on Thursday. But
Texans, almost like you.
What's the difference? Where's the fine line for you when you're at these camps, right? And you're like a camp coach helper. You don't want to be as hard on them as if like you're coaching for a season. You're trying to win a championship, but you also want to teach them good like habits and teach them like run to the back of the line, don't walk on the field, things like that.
All walk.
You just focus on letting them have fun, or you're out there trying to build NBA athletes or WNBA?
You're out there trying to build college athletes first.
High school starters.
Yeah.
I like it.
So prime example, I'm gonna be quick here because we're wrapping up right now. But I went to Tim Hardaway's camp in El Paso and I worked it. Being able to be there and be around those kids and trying to help them is the key. Going to a camp and like yourself being an instructor, it's about teaching. And when I did my camps for, I would say 8 of the 11 years I was in the NBA, it was always about fundamentals. Kenny Thomas fundamental camp, right? So I'm about teaching and learning and then helping these kids to advance. This is exactly why I do basketball tournaments here in New Mexico and other places. So, man, it's been a great show.
Banger.
My boy Steve Francis called in, NBA legend, went to Maryland, second pick in the 1999 draft. I was able to play with him in Houston, man. Today's been a great show. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and 610 The Sports Animal. Peace out. I'll be back next weekend.